Hello, everybody. How are you doing? Welcome to the first day of the 5-day writing course. The topic is Don't Write Yet. So, you're in a writing course, and the first day you've come to a session called Don't Write Yet. Why do you think the session is named like that? Sanjeev says because you have to follow the guru. Okay. Aditi says we need concepts before writing. Ujjamp has a interesting idea. He said we should plan the blueprint first. I really like the word blueprint there, Ujjamp. Hi everybody. Chetna says to plan what to write and how to write. Great, all of them sound lovely. So before we get into the meat of today's session, I have a question for you. Use the chat option to give the answer. Just a lot of answers coming in. Ishad says formal writing letters, essays, etc. Okay, here are the things that you're writing. So Ram says short stories. Interesting. And we have got email conversations. Dinesh says, oh, we've got emails. And then we've got formal letters, blogs. Ujjant writes blogs. So we have blogs and story writing. So we've got stories already. Sharmili writes stories. Deepak has a lot of business writing. So Dibakar, you're unmuting yourself. You do not do that. I'm muting you again, Dibakar. Please don't unmute yourself. So many of you have experience of writing and you need to improve that. So I want to compare writing to something. You're going to look at an image now and again use the chat option to tell everybody what you think is the connection between that image and writing process. Oops. Here is the image. Path to follow. Rachita has different ways of writing. Sanjeev says there are many paths to reach the destination. It's really interesting. So how I see it is when it comes to writing, we have a journey, right? So this is how I see it, as a journey. Right? And if you consider writing as a journey, then there will be many destinations as well. So as you can see, all these paths lead to different destinations. So how to understand and how to discover that destination? So if I wanted to continue with this example, when you compare writing and being on a journey, then you first cannot just start walking without the destination in mind. So there are a few things to consider. So before you write, let's consider how you would discover the destination. And that is what we are going to look at, discovering the destination. So the first thing you need to do is pay attention at the purpose of any piece of writing. So you gave such beautiful things in writing which are so engrossing and require such high skills like storytelling and poetry and blogging, right? So you need to understand the purpose of all of them. So you need to pay keen attention to that. Why are we writing this, right? And with that comes another. Who is the reader? Who's the audience we're talking about? So the reader. Right? You have to understand that what are they looking for? What knowledge do they have already? And that will help you to somehow discover where you're heading, where your writing should go ahead. So if you look at that image again, so you have so many options here, right? And that options will be dependent on the destination. That the destination can be decided using these two factors of understanding the purpose and understanding the readers. So let's think of it this way, right? This is a map of India. And just consider this situation where you are stuck in a lockdown, you're in Delhi, and your actual home is in Mumbai. Only option, again, people are unmuting. Don't unmute, please. And your only option is to drive because all the public transports have closed down, right? So your destination is clear. It is Mumbai. So let me make Mumbai somewhere here. Right. So this is Mumbai, and this is our destination. And we are right now in Delhi. So this is what happens most of the times. You start driving, right? And you do not know the way properly. And this is what happens with me. I don't know if it happens with you too. But I start driving and then I just reach happily thinking that I'm going in the right direction. And then I'm just heading in some direction. I've got no idea where it's heading. So somehow I keep on driving, but the final place that I reach is nowhere close to where I wanted to. I'm giving an example. I'm not saying I'm a bad driver. I'm just giving an example of writing. So this is what happens with me, and I get frustrated and I leave many a times. Or even if I'm done, I'm nowhere close to Mumbai, my destination, right? So this is a problem I'm sure that many of us feel. We just lose the sense of direction when we're writing. Just like start writing if we are preparing for exams, for IELTS, for example, and we are writing an essay, and we have to finish 250 words at least, and we are done with 250 words, but we wanted to write much more because the question was asking something else. Or if you're writing a blog, for example, and we wanted to write about something, and the beautiful ideas that were there in my minds weren't written, and we already have like a big entry ready. So what can be done, right? So there's something that needs to be done very, very, very urgently when you are stuck in this situation. You have to consider the option of planning, right? And that is what this session is all about. So many of you guessed it correctly. So this session is all about the topic of planning. Okay. You'll see a question, okay, coming on your screen right now, and you'll have two options, yes or no. Select one of the options, whichever is true for you. So 78 of you answered it, and just look at the results here. 51% of you say yes, you plan, and 65% say yes, and 35% say no. People who say no, I want one of you anyone can unmute your microphone and give us the reason. Why is it that you think that you don't plan? Why do you think you don't plan?
Hi, Anshu, this is Sachin. And like while writing an essay, most of the time I just used to follow the strategy basically. Like I have to paraphrase first of all the topic statement. If I've been given a topic like I can give you an example on this. Like the people should get married before 30 or not. Yeah. And it's a statement. So I used to paraphrase. This is the first thing which I used to do. And after this, at the time of planning my essay, I didn't get so many things in my mind. Like what exactly should I need to write on this? Yeah. This is sometimes the issue is.
Okay. Let me ask one more person who has selected no. Anyone else who has selected no? What is your reason?
Hi, this is Ashutosh.
Yeah, go ahead, Ashutosh.
Yeah. Actually, the reason for me marking as no is because whenever any topic, I suppose an essay or letter writing or this, there are so many things at the same time. There are points come low. I have to write this also. I have to write this also. They have to write this also. So I got confused that which point is making more relevant of that topic.
So
So
what
it
stops you from
becomes
planning?
like, sorry.
What stops you from planning? My question was, if you selected no, I don't
So
plan.
it stops me from planning because for planning needs, okay, I have this point, I have to mark this, I have to go stepwise. So my planning got lost in that. So that's lost in that. Okay, what should I write now? And in that, all my you can say my time or my concentration or everything get lost. Yeah.
Yes. So I'm going to share with you some common reasons why people sometimes select not to plan, and just match your own reason of not planning. And people who selected yes, sometimes you also try to just avoid planning and just directly get into writing. Just match with it and see if it's true for you or not. So the first thing we're looking here is, some people think that, hey, planning, really, I'm just writing a poetry, I'm just writing a short story, why should I plan? So it's only for essays, it's not really for me. It's only for people who are writing academic essays for schools and colleges, right? So that's what some people believe, only for essays and not for creative writing. Some people think that creative writing should be candid, right? It should be coming directly from the mind and onto the paper. So it should not be planned. Planning kind of dampens the whole experience. Some people think that, exam time, there's so much pressure and less time, as Ashutosh also said. So why to spend time? And most importantly, why to do the same thing twice? What's the point of doing the whole thing 2 times? First I'm being there, and then again writing. Shushmita, can you mute yourself? Yeah. And then again, I have to write the whole thing. So, these are some of the common reasons why people don't plan. So what I would do now is get back to our previous map of India and just try to look at something. So let's look at the map again. Okay. So we were in Delhi, right? And we wanted to go to Mumbai. Could be geographically a little inaccurate, but that's not our point here, right? So we were in Delhi, and then we have to go to Mumbai. So let me just quickly write down the Delhi and Mumbai. So if I have some kind of guidance that gives me some intermediary steps to reach Mumbai, so what would I do? So I just know that somewhere between Delhi and Mumbai, I'll first have to reach Ajmer. Then I would reach Udaipur. Then I'll reach Ahmedabad. Then I would reach Surat. And finally, I'll reach my destination, Mumbai. So now what has happened? Now see the whole losing thing. You remember that feeling that we got previously with our map of like just going somewhere and getting lost has kind of reduce that feeling, because now we have a rough route, and we know from Delhi I have to just think about Ajmer. I don't have to think about Mumbai, just Ajmer, and then just Udaipur and so on, right? So this is the beauty of planning, it is just like a good map, just like the Google Maps that we use. So what does a good map do, right? A good map, it outlines the main stops along your route to your destination. So this is what planning is all about, right? So this is Okay, some people are saying your voice is not clear. I'll try to be louder than that, but trust me, I'm using microphones. Anyways, so this is the reason why we need a map, And when it comes to having a map, then the best thing to do is having a mind map, right? So let me quickly show you. We have covered this topic in one of our sessions like last week, mind mapping. So I want you to quickly use the chat box. And if you remember, and if you're repeating, if you're like coming to this session who have already attended that session, just write what mind map could mean. Right? Just use the chat. Do not use the microphone. Please mute yourself. Someone has unmuted themselves again. Let me mute everybody. Okay, Sachin says, who, where. Shivans remembers my lockdown days. That was the topic. Anu says it's like a short picture with the whole story, like when, where, whom. That's kind of correct. So let me show you what a mind map looks like. So from the picture that you see right now, what do you think are the different parts here? So what do you see? So if you focus on it, the first thing that you see is just a second. Is the topic in the middle, right? So you can see the topic is in the middle. And then it has some branches, you can see, like a branch here, a branch here, one branch here, one branch here, and one branch here. So all these things are, so first the topic and then the branches. And if you look at a branch, every branch has further sub branches, like just like a tree, branches and sub branches. So this is what a mind map looks like. So what is actually the meaning here? So what we are looking at is first the topic, where you write what is the main purpose of your writing, right? So for example, if you wanted to write about a story, then maybe the name of the story. Just a second. And then the main ideas would be the different plot points. So I'm just giving you an example, right? And every plot point will also have further supporting ideas. So what do I mean by all that? Let's take a real life example. Okay, so I'm going to share with you a clip of a cricket match. Okay, and just imagine that we are all journalists and we have to write about this cricket match. Okay, so that is the topic for us, the cricket match. Let me add myself here. So so what you need to do is first look at the clip of the cricket match now, and then we'll try to make a mind map around that match. Okay, so let's watch that together.
Oh, inside edge. Lucky way to start the innings. Full shot. That's nicely played.
Oh, good on-field decision.
Oh, God! Perfectly placed fielder there. Vijay Shankar made no mistake. Oh, bowling! And that is that. India win by 89 runs in the Duckworth Lewis method.
Okay, so we come back here. So this time we do not have a story. What we have is a cricket match, right? And the name of the topic that I'll give here is India wins versus Pakistan. Okay, so that is what will be our topic. So step one is done. We have to write a topic, and we are just planning for our article on this cricket match. This is what we are doing, right? So let's look at what main ideas could be. As many of you have beautifully answered in the chat box, you've really used well something which is called as WH questions. So what are WH questions? The questions which we have in English language that start with WH most of the times, like what, why, which. Some of them don't start with WH, like how. It doesn't start with WH, but it has a W and it has an H, right? So we'll use those WH questions to create some main ideas, right? To think about some main ideas. So let's see how that would work. So the first thing that I would want to write would be when was the match? So so main idea one, I would write, let me take a light color. So where was the match, right? And then the next question that I want to focus is, just a second. When did it take place? Oops. So main idea 2 would be when. Then the third one would be who, like who played, right? Who played, the players. And then we've got can you give me more WH questions? Like, how did India win? You know, like how? Yeah. I think it's clear now, right? Yeah, great. So let's continue. So who played? We've got the questions now, right? So the main ideas, in order to get the main ideas, we've got enough questions. Now, just having main ideas isn't enough. In order to write a really good, elaborate article, you need to have some well-developed ideas, right? So in order to have well-developed ideas, what you need to do is you need to have some supporting ideas. So as you can see, that every branch has multiple supporting ideas, like supporting idea A and supporting idea B, right? And every branch, see, every main idea will have 2 supporting ideas. Now it depends on you, how you plan your article. 2 is not like a fixed number. You can make it 3, you can make it 4. It depends on how long you want your writing to be, and different types of writing takes different lengths, right? So that's how That's how you'll decide how many supporting ideas to take. So when we talk about supporting ideas, what do we mean? See, there are basically 4 things that make the supporting idea, right? 4 ingredients that make supporting ideas. The first ingredient is the reason why something happened, right? So let me write it down for you. So supporting idea, the first kind is, let me write it here. Is reason, right? The second type is the result of something, right? What is the consequence of whatever happened? The third thing is example. So give an example of whatever happened, the main reason. Give the example of the main reason. And then finally, the description. Let me move myself up. Right, so you can see description is something that just a second. These are the 4 things that you need to be really mindful of: reason, result, example, description. So these things make the supporting ideas. Right? So now let's look at how to create the supporting ideas for our example here, the cricket match one. Right, so the first idea was where. Now I'm going to give you some really basic ones here, because let's take some very easy examples, and of course according to your level of English you can make it more advanced. Right, so the first supporting idea that I can think of about where it was happening, what it could be the answer to this question. Let's say Eden Gardens in Calcutta, right? And the second example, it could be about the last match that happened, you know? So we're giving examples here. An example of another cricket match that happened. So you can see that India lost in that match, in the last match that was played at the Eden Gardens. So let me bring it here. Let me move so that you can see. Let me put myself this side here. Right, so India lost in the last match. So that could be the 2 supporting ideas talking about where. Right, and then let's move on to the second point, is when. So you can say, well, it happened last Thursday, and you can give the date, whatever, like 1st of May, and what else can you write about when? So you can write the weather, about a little more about the weather. So you're again describing. Remember, one of the types of supporting ideas was description. So just describe the day, you know, just like speak about the weather. And also in cricket, the weather conditions are really important, right? So that will also make it very relevant. Remember one thing, guys, which is very important. Whatever we are writing here in the supporting ideas, like this one, and all the other ones, they all are relevant to the main topic here, right? First, they're relevant to the topic, that was the India versus Pakistan match. And the second thing is they're relevant to that particular main idea under which the supporting ideas are, right? So a supporting idea here cannot, this one, for example, like this particular one, it cannot come to the main idea number 2. Then things become a little haywire, right? You're going towards Ajmer. You cannot really start talking about Udaipur or Surat and other places. You have to stick to where you're heading, the next point where you're reaching, right? And I'll tell you the most important reason why at the end. Let's move on to the next one. Who played? What you can write here is you can write the names of the players who are selected. So both the teams, the players of the teams, players of both teams, right? And what else you can write? What you can also write the reason. See, one of the supporting ideas were reason. Why? So you can talk about the performance of some of the players in the previous match, and that's why they were selected for this match, or a number of reasons. So one of the other one could be why selected, right? Okay. So as you can see that we're slowly getting a lot of relevant ideas that's building, and we're reaching towards our final destination, that is Mumbai in our journey example, and here to write a good article about a cricket match. Let's move on to the next topic. How did they win? So this is the place where you can really bring out your creative side of writing, where you recreate the whole situation of the match by describing things. Use beautiful, relevant adjectives, right? And bring in all the small details so that someone who has not seen the match will be able to somehow gauge and try to relive that excitement, about how India won and all that, right? So what you can write here is about the atmosphere, about the audience, So how did they win? So let me write it down. How did they win? Atmosphere, right? And you can also give the answer straight away. It was the Duckworth-Lewis method, because there was rains also. So you can describe that using some of the nice adjectives. That would really bring this to life. And finally, our last was how spectators felt. You can say that they really felt excited and they were cheering. So you can use some good words and adjectives here as well. So they were excited because you can talk about India-Pakistan match already having a lot of energy, right? And they were cheering. You can talk about who had more support, India or Pakistan, because it was in India, so there's a chance that maybe Indian supporters would be much more than the Pakistani supporters. So everything regarding the feeling of the spectators you can mention here, right? And of course, how did they win? In that you can talk about the shots, different kinds of shots, the shots that they played and the decisions that were given. Right, so that's the previous point. I just this idea came to mind. So now you can see this is a really comprehensive plan that we've created here, which we can use to write an article on cricket matches. It looks really overwhelming sometimes. If somebody is watching a video and skips to this part all of a sudden, they would oh, what is happening? But if you really break it down into the topic and then writing the main ideas with the WH questions and then the supporting ideas only and only about those main ideas and not about other things, right? Using the 4 kinds. That is a reason for the main idea, the result of the main idea, the example of the main idea, and the description of the main idea, right? And of course, you don't need to use all the 4 in every paragraph. And I said paragraph. I gave you an answer to a question that I was about to ask. Now see, every main idea is used differently. There's a reason behind that. The main reason behind that is they have to be mentioned in separate paragraphs, right? You cannot just write randomly. It's I was just writing and I sneezed, achoo, and I just changed a paragraph and I continued writing. There has to be a logic of changing a paragraph. It has its own structure, and this is the structure, guys. So every paragraph has a main idea and has some supporting ideas. So this is how you can plan something and have a relevant map to reach your destination without chances of getting lost here and there, and writing everything that you want to write. I have a quick question for you, okay, for practice. So this is what I need you to do. Let me show you the question first. Yeah, okay, great. So just look at the question here, right? And what I'll do is, I'll just send you to a breakout room, okay? Now, this is what you need to do. You need to work now. Take out a paper and a notebook, right? And just make a mind map. I'm going to show you the mind map again. You have this. Take a screenshot of this, okay? And people who are there in the WhatsApp group, you are going to... I really wanted my face to be shown also, because that is really cool, but I don't know why it's just stuck. Can you see my face now? Just check. No, it's okay. It's okay. Let it be. Let it be. So this is what you need to do. First, write this topic first decide which event you would be talking about, right? It could be any memorable event. So let me show you the question again. Describe a memorable event you have attended. So it could be anything. Like it could be about a music concert, or it could be about maybe a stand-up comedy, right, that you have attended. It could be a party. It could be, give me more examples. What events can you think of? Sachin asked, can the mind map be shared? Yes, Sachin will be sharing it. Jay says a conference. Very good, Jay. So think about it in like something like international conference that you have attended, or any interesting conference that you have attended where you've met many good people. Lovedeep says farewell party. Anything, right? It's your choice. You can choose any memorable event, and I'll send you to smaller groups, right? This is what you need to do. So you don't have to discuss everything. Just when you go to the groups, do this. Just discuss one event, that's the topic, right? Think of some WH questions, just 2 of them, okay? 2 WH questions. Of course, you can practice with as many as you want to later. Just 2 of them, and think of some supporting ideas answering those questions, just like the way we did with the cricket match, right? So it might sound a little difficult because this is the first time you'd be trying it, but trust me, keep it very simple. Do not make too many supporting ideas. Just 1 or 2 supporting ideas for 2 main ideas. Okay, I'll just give you an example quickly. I'll take a stand-up comedy bit. Okay, so I watched this stand-up comedy, and that is the topic. First will be where, next will be when, right? So 2 is enough. Maybe take it 3, right? The how did I feel? Okay, so these 3 questions. Okay, many of you are still giving examples of events. Yes, I'll show you the mind map again. There you go. Focus on what I'm telling you, guys. So this is what you need to do. Think of some supporting ideas to these main ideas, right? So when was it? You can write the date, and you can in that describe why did you select that day. Maybe because you were free, you didn't have any work, and you can describe many things, right? And then where was it? Then you can decide, oh, it was in Gurgaon, and then describe a little bit how far it is from your place and things like that. And thirdly, finally, you can, how did you feel? And you can describe your emotions by using some really nice emotion adjectives, like, emotions like, it was hilarious and I felt like I'd cry out loud laughing, If you're writing an informal blog entry, or if you're writing a Facebook post, or a Twitter post, and you just want to share it with your friends, you can say, "Oh, I almost peed my pants." That is a very informal one. Peed my pants. It was so funny, right? And there you go. You have a very short writing. It could be like a short post. You don't really need to write big articles. You can write really small ones as well. Welcome back, everybody. So I'm going to select like one of you, and you can share with us what mind map did you create and about what event, right? And let me select Kakuli. Kakuli, go ahead, share what you did with us.
Sir, our topic, debate competition in our college.
Perfect, okay.
And
so what were the main ideas? What were the WH questions you used?
When.
Okay, and what supporting ideas did you use for that?
And what topic?
Okay. Okay.
And how much students participate?
Okay, great. And what supporting ideas did you select?
Yes, sir.
So, Kakuli, I'm asking you a question. So, what supporting ideas did you select? These were the main ideas, right, Kakuli? So, if you just like said a few main ideas, like what, when, why, you use these ones, right? But what you need to do is also give supporting ideas. So, let me ask someone else.
Hi. So we have discussed our main topic. Main topic was college fable. Related to WH question, we have figured out like when, where, and how. So in when we have decided. It's during our first year we were giving farewell party to our seniors.
Right.
Where is our college lawn, and how?
So where can you expand that? Have more supporting ideas there. So you could describe that, describe that lawn. Yeah. And more description. That's all. Then the third main idea.
Third main idea is like how it happened. So we have decided like it was like we have given performances, stage performances, like danced and like sang songs and all those stuff. Or maybe selected the best seniors related to dresses and their appearances and the academic awards and all this.
Perfect. It sounds really nice. Although, like, you came up with a very short one because you had a very, very less time. So I think that is a very good one, done in just 4 minutes, right? And these are just notes. You did not actually write out the whole article, right? So Abhishek, when you'd be writing this, you'd be adding like more supporting ideas and making it like a full-blown article, maybe for your blog, or if you are trying to share a note, a Facebook note, right? Or if you're just like a professional journalist, then also you can write it a little differently by quoting people and use actual quotes. So this is how I'd want to conclude, guys. So be it any kind of writing, be it let me erase this. So be it any of the things that you mentioned initially, right? Like emails, you can write emails like this. You can plan. I'm not saying write, but I'm saying plan before you write. As the session was named, don't write yet means do not start writing before that. So you can write different articles, essays. You can write messages to people, right? Sometimes you send longish messages describing, or just like informal emails that you send, or poetry or short stories, or even love letters. Why not? Like you can express so much with a little bit of planning, right? So all you need to do is a little bit of planning, and you can make it a little more expressive, and you can include everything that you say without going really candid about everything. If you want to do that, do that. But if you want to write better, and if you want to focus on your writing skill, then this is a skill that you need to develop in order to evolve as a writer. But I really hope that the main point of this session was driven home. That is the importance of planning and the process, the beautiful process of mind mapping. And that is what you need to really develop into a habit of. We got really less time to practice. That is just like a drop in the ocean, as I like to put it. So you need to, no matter what you write from now on, just use this mind map. I'm going to share this material on the Facebook page as well as on the WhatsApp group. And when I post the video, then also you can take the screenshots from the video and have it as materials when I do it, and just like just revise what you do, or you can share the videos with anybody else who would want to learn how to plan. That's pretty much it, guys.